And I figured that it would be a good idea to kind of show you exactly what we're seeing as folks may be getting out on the road. So right now we are near the Kroger right off of 55. Saturday's job fair included a number of medical employers hoping to hire employees in a variety of medical capacities as soon as possible. Stores like Best Buy opened up to the public about an hour ago at 5 p.m. And right now we want to give you a bit of a bird's eye view here inside of Best Buy. While we're still learning daily about COVID-19, it does appear that the highly contagious virus can live on just about anything, including our vehicles. I know you mentioned that you are humbled and honored that the people of Vicksburg have once again elected you as the mayor. Talk more about that. We've been told that several signs advertising an incorrect general election date for the state of Mississippi have been put up throughout Jackson neighborhoods. Once you get your bag, you actually then have to go behind the building to a lot right behind us. Children don't know it, but they would have walked 1 mile and got about 30 minutes of cardiovascular exercise. Hey, good evening, Troy. COVID-19 is creating what some might call an unpleasant new reality for pregnant women who may want more than one person in the delivery room with them as they're giving birth. The structure behind me, which looks like it was some type of warehouse or storage house, is now completely destroyed. Trees have been split in half, and families are doing everything they can to pick up the pieces.
I went through the process and got cleared to go back to work. I'm so excited. I love my job.
Wife and mother Doris Whitaker returned to her job as the director of pastoral services at UMMC on Wednesday. After battling with what she thought were allergies, she tested positive for COVID-19.
It was a shock. It really was a shock to me because I wasn't really expecting it.
Whitaker, who also serves as the associate pastor of Harvest Celebration Evangelistic Church in Byram, says one of her sons tested positive too. Her husband and other children haven't showed any symptoms. Whitaker says while she did experience fatigue and some shortness of breath, fear was her main antagonist.
And I had to pray my way through. I had to pray my way through.
According to Johns Hopkins University, just over 102,000 people worldwide have died from COVID-19, but more than 376,000 have recovered. That includes more than 28,000 survivors in the U.S.
Not everyone, not even a high percent of those diagnosed with COVID-19 are hospitalized. And of the ones that are hospitalized, it's a very small percentage of those that actually died.
COVID-19 is a reality we all need to take seriously, but Whitaker encourages you to focus on the silver lining.
We came through it, just like so many other people, so many other survivors. They are walking through this thing, and it will be okay. It will be okay.
Whitaker says her bout with the virus has motivated her to take better care of herself. Jake Presley and his family faithfully attended Raymond Road Baptist Church here in South Jackson. And today the congregation came together to help everyone who's coping, as well as to pray for Jake, who survived the tragic fire that killed his wife and children. On Sunday morning, the pews at Raymond Road Baptist Church filled with parishioners. But there was a vast emptiness knowing that mom, Brittany Mitchell Presley, and her 6 children, ages 1 to 15 years old, would no longer join the congregation after they were killed in a Saturday morning house fire in Clinton.
They say you're not supposed to question God, but how can you have anything like this happen and not ask why?
Family friend Lynn Lee recalls sweet memories with the Presley family.
We were all so excited year before last when they finally got a girl. They had those 5 boys, and we celebrated having a little girl.
During the service, songs of comfort and encouragement filled the church that the Presley family loved attending. Deacon Bill Dubard says sometimes they'd ride their bikes from Clinton to church in South Jackson.
During the summer, during Bible school, they would ride their bikes. They were a big biking family.
In his sermon, Pastor Josh Horner used scripture.
Because of the greatness of his might and the strength of his power, not one of them is missing. Not one of them is missing.
To encourage his congregation, which includes Brittany's mom and other relatives, to trust God and have faith in the midst of the uncertainty ahead.
The only way you can cope with this is just to give it to the Lord and say, look, take it from me, we can't do this on our own.
A candlelight vigil and a balloon release are scheduled here at the Raymond Road Baptist Church this evening at 6. In Jackson, Jewell Hillery, 16 WAPT News. Some of the most significant damage we spotted is here in south of Jackson, where a pine tree fell and split this home.
The roof just, boom, fell.
Kyla Thompson, who lives next door to the house on Dorgan Street, heard the tree fall into the house early Saturday morning.
It was scary because I thought the tree was about to land on us.
Gusty winds and heavy rain also caused lots of damage at the intersection of Maddox Road and Raymond Road. This is where a tree snapped and was caught by a power line. Several traffic lights were also left hanging with little support, while others were smashed into the ground.
He came outside to the door, seen the power line was on my car.
In Edwards, wife and mother Ida Hayes Parker and her family evacuated their home around 2 a.m. They sought shelter in a vehicle for hours after a power line fell and sparked continually on Hayes Parker's car just outside of the family's home. The family has been impacted by bad storms in the past, and Hayes Parker says in the midst of this early morning scare, she's grateful.
Just blessed to be able to not have trees or anything down on our house this time.
A fallen tree at Spring Ridge Road and McFarland Road was the first call of the morning for Raymond Fire Chief Michael Wilson and a volunteer firefighter. A large tree also fell across Manhattan Road at Bounds Street in Jackson. And back in South Jackson, Thompson says she's thankful her loved ones were not injured.
I'm just glad that my loved ones are okay.
Reporting in Jackson, Jewell Hillery, 16 WAPT News. These talented singers are young, but their voices are mature beyond their years. From classics to inspirational melodies.
Oh, I believe. What do you say of me?
Sing Jackson leaves their audiences in awe. 13-year-old Katia Madison, who some say sounds like a young Mahalia Jackson, wants to use her voice to inspire others.
I love singing for healing, and I want to do that all over the nation and all over the world.
I'm afraid to die.
The ensemble formed in 2016 and practices regularly under director Hugh Davis at the Jackson Medical Mall.
I think that they are just as good, if not better, than those young people on Broadway, in California, on The Voice, American Idol. I think we have some young people that can outdo any of those.
Some of the members are also talented dancers and speakers.
We all envision them just taking that and just going as far as their imaginations allow them to.
College freshman Olivia Bonds loves how Sing Jackson has helped her express herself freely.
This place is a safe haven for you. You have a place where you can be open and be confident with anybody that's around you.
While belting out their powerful voices, Sing Jackson member Samuel Green wants you to remember not to limit young people's potential.
We definitely do not do that because there are many, many talented kids in this area.
Sing Jackson strives to continue sharing their talent with audiences near and far. In Jackson, Jewell Hillery, 16 WAPT News.